My name is Bhim Singh Thakur. I am a local youth who lives here, being and brought up here from my villages out there in the mountains, in the upper reaches of the mountains. A sub-valley called part of Machel. And Machel is the sub-valley where I come from, but brought up here.
So you grew up close to the temple?
Yes, pretty close.
And can you always include my question into your answer?
Of course.
What are you doing?
But I work in a private organization and I'm doing work from home, from here, work for an international company.
Okay. What kind of private organization is it?
It's into IT staffing. We provide workforce to the multinational companies and conglomerates based out of the United States of America. I'm into HR, human resource.
Okay. What's your concern about this region?
My concerns about these regions are pretty, I would say, deep, pretty, I would say, worrying. That should worry pretty much every individual out here. Despite the fact that we have got pretty much everything. We have got plethora of natural resources. We have got, sapphire mines, scientific name corundum, which is considered to be the purest form throughout India. I won't talk about the world because I have not known enough about the world sapphire, quality. But here in Pada, in the sub-valley of Machel, we have this thing here, and we have got this forest which is called gold forest. We have got herbs, plants, including herbal medicinal values. We have got trees, and every year I would say tons of trees are transported to the nearest cities, wherein they sell them out and they generate economy. But despite the fact that we have been the producers of these, be it timber, be it kilar, or be it these are basically the ranges and species of these woods. But despite the fact that when we go to build our house and we go to purchase this, we get the rate of Jammu, which is the state, which is the province, which is the headquarter of the state. We get the same rate which is given at Jammu, but we are not being given any concession, despite the fact that we are the producers of this. Every year, a lot of sapphire is taken out, a lot of economy is being generated by Indian government, I would say, but no concession or nothing is being given to us, or we are not being incentivized as they are taking our resources. So this is pretty worrisome situation for us. Apart of that, from the perspective of tourism, if I talk about, we have got all 4 seasons. We have got the best biodiversity, I would say, in the world. And Kishtwar district, this is the subdivision which is within Kishtwar district. We are considered one of the top hot spots in terms of the place having potential for water generation. We have got many power plants over here because we have got these massive rivers flowing down from there, Zanskar. We have this coming from Pangi Valley, and this particular area is basically the one we have got to our east Pangi Valley. We have got to our north, the northernmost, I would say, side of portion of this area. Padar is called Padum, Zanskar, Leh Ladakh, and this west side we have got Madhwa and Walwan. So despite the fact that all these surrounding communities or all these surrounding villages or places, major places, these are states now these times. Despite the fact that we are having 95% BPL card holders. BPL is people who live under the below poverty line. So they are always being given some special perks by the government, be it the reservation of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. That's how they bifurcate the people, depending upon what their living conditions are. And until 1960, people, or I would say the states of Padum, Zanskar, Leh Ladakh and Pangi out there, they used to depend and rely on Padar, this particular place, for all the essential commodities, be it anything. And there used to be a time when this particular Padar used to be called 500 Padre. 500 is a numeric number, 500 Padris. So at that time, this used to be the ideal place, ideal village, or ideal, I would say, valley for the whole India, where we used to, have the population control. Only the population was up to 500. That is why it was called 500 points of Padre. And we used to have everything. We used to have our own carpenters. We used to have our own, I would say, doctors, because they used to have the knowledge of the herbs and medicinal values of the plants. We used to have everything, and all these states used to depend upon us. Today, we are so far behind from them. I don't know what is the reason. Maybe we can talk it out after having a dialogue. Today, Pangi has got scheduled tribe reservation that gives them special perks in government jobs, in all other funds that are being allocated by the government. Pangi has got under Hill Development Council, that is a particular council that works for the welfare of the minority society, be it Buddhist, be it Muslim, or be it anything out there. So they are also having under Hill Development Council's criteria, they are also having scheduled tribe category. Pangi is also having scheduled tribe category. They are far, I would say, 50 years ahead of us. We are still lying here because we are so simple. No one ever paid heed to our prayers or to our requirements, and whatever we did, This is a political failure, I would say also, is one of the things that we are so far behind. And whatever we did so far, our leaders did, our ancestors did, they did great, but I would still say that we are still lacking behind and everything has fallen to deaf ears. So that is my concern.
Let's start from the beginning a little
Sure.
bit. Can you talk a little bit about your upbringing there in this valley?
Yes, we are the Hindus and I come from the Thakur caste. We have, I'm really not sure where we have come from, but I can say from one idea that our culture, our costumes, our customs, they are 99% matching with the nearest state called Pangi. The cap that the other gentleman out there was wearing, that comes from Pangi. Then we have got our traditional dresses, our cultural dances, and the heritage, the monumental things we have out there. They also resemble from the nearest state, Pangi. And we got Muslims here. We have got Muslim community here. We have got a Buddhist community here, and the descendants of those Muslims still live here in Kijai and Atoli. Those actually come in the I would say, 17th century, as I have known to the best of my knowledge. And those come from Chamba. It's a place in Himachal Pradesh, the nearest bordering state with us. They have come during the under the period of a ruler called Shankara. During that period, they came over here and they're still living here, the descendants of those people.
Would you say they live in harmony?
They live completely in harmony here because though we can say that we live in a disputed territory, Jammu and Kashmir, at the world map, it's one of the disputed territories where we often have these common in harmony things and rights, but here they live so peacefully because we share a lot of common things and mutual things. When we organize, it's a very interesting fact I would like to bring into your notice and would like to share it here, that whenever we have got this Ram Leela thing, Ramayana, there is a play that we organize here, and in those plays there are characters who are invited and who are given their scripts, then they remember them and they come out with those roles and costumes, and Ravana, Rama, and these people participate in these things, these Muslim people. Despite the fact that they come from a different religion, they participate in that. They are being given those characters and they participate. We totally completely live in complete harmony here.
Okay. So you grew up close to the temple, very close to the temple.
Yes.
Like a couple 100 meters. Or
I would say 2 to 3, maybe 5 kilometers, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, in your words, what is the importance of this temple?
This temple, well, this whole state, I would say, is called the City of Temples. Whenever you enter from Pathankot to Jammu and Kashmir, it is called the City of Temples. Jammu particularly is called City of Temples. And we have a lot of temples here, and the reason behind is because people are so religious. People believe in God, and people, worship their gods. And when I say they worship their gods, they idolize them, and they try to behave like them. Let's say if we worship Lord Rama, and then we try to, work on the moral values that are set up by Rama. That makes us so simple as well, but this world is so cunning, I would say. That is why we are so behind. And the importance of a lot of temples, I won't say much because I haven't known much about this, but what I have heard from it, that there used to be a time, the gods that we worship, those used to be the life creatures like us during those times, and we have been hearing very good resounding tales about them. Be Chandi Mata that used to live in these mountains. We have got the famous, actually I would like to consider a fact here that Machel Mata that we are talking about, this is one of the, I would say, third largest yatra in our state after Vaishno Devi. Then we have got Amarnath Yatra, then we have got Machel Mata Yatra, the third largest yatra here. So these Matas, these Devi, these Devtas, these used to live here in old times, during the times of Pandavas, or gods. They used to live like us, but they were so great in character, and they used to be so powerful, and they used to live in the Yuga which is called Sata Yuga, that is in our Vedas. Sata Yuga. This is called Kala Yuga. Kala Yuga is called where things are not falling in the right place, and people are more like attracted towards demonish things and more like towards demons. But those Satyugas, people do not used to lie. People used to be so honest with their character, and pretty much everything was different at that time. So that is how we have located their temples out there, and that is just a sign that we remember, we remind ourselves that, hey, we need to bow to someone. There is someone who is watching over us, so we should not do bad things. That is just a mark of that, yeah.
So this is one of 3 temples that's really important. Also out of for other regions? Because I think people also come from Delhi to visit this temple, right?
Of course. So, yeah, the reason behind is this particular Mata, I would say, Machel Mata or Chandi Mata. This Mata has been so lively among us people. Whatever we pray for, we owe for, we get it done. But the condition is that if we do it from the bottom of heart and soul, if we are true to our prayers and to her moral values, we get our things done. That is the only reason that a lot of people are coming here. Otherwise, there's no particular or specific thing that is so attractive out there. There is no special service out there. It's a temple like that's a simple common temple like this one that you can see behind me, which is Kali Mata temple. But that Mata, inside that temple, that Mata is so lively among us, and that is so, I would say, adheres to our prayers and gives instant results. That is one of the reasons that people from out of the streets are even visiting here.
So you also grew up with people walking by your house to get to the temple, right?
Of course.
So how did that make you feel?
That makes me feel so good, and that makes me feel so much lively, throughout the year. Because there is this 1 month when we are so excited that a lot of people would come here, new people would come here, they would talk to us. They are, of course, one of the sources of economic generation as well for us. And you can say that there is a lot of posh situation in those times here, and we enjoyed that time thoroughly, because when they go, they left us in, they leave us in despair and disappointment, because then all of a sudden it's all empty. This ground particular back there, if you would see that, that used to be full of vehicles, but because of this COVID-19, when things have gone upside down, we just can't say anything. But there's a lot of disappointment among the people, and we have been praying constantly to our goddess Mata Chandi, Machel Mata, that please normalize the situation, bring the things to normalcy, and we would again witness those beautiful times, and people throughout the world would come here and make Mata Chandi shower their blessings upon us all.
So the pilgrimage, I get it. Pilgrimage, I understand, is a good thing. You're happy that so many people are coming here, but there are also negative aspects of it, right?
Of course, sir. There are always uses and abuses of everything, be it science or be it technology, be it anything, and at the same time, the religious sentiments that are here. Well, I would say 90% it's positive, it's good for us. 10% it is a little negligible for us, because it brings some harmful effects of us. But if we organize, if we execute our things in a very well planned manner, we can overcome those things, and it could give up 100% good results. And I can talk about maybe positively up to the extent of 100%, because when people come out here, they bring a lot of things with them. They go out there throughout this terrain. When they start walking out there, the road has just been constructed, but it's still not up to the level that people are allowed to travel to Machel. But they still go travel by foot, and when they go, they need proper infrastructure to go outside for washroom use, or maybe defecation thing or whatever. They go into the fields, and August is the time when I would say our farming goes full on, and we have everything grown up in our fields, our crops, Then, since we do not have the proper infrastructure, they go out there in the fields. Then they make it unhygienic. That is one thing. Then there are a lot of plastic bottles. There are a lot of other things that brings harm to our society. But I think if our administration takes proper steps, we can, make it even more harmonious and more beautiful than ever.
So what are the solutions of this?
The solutions, I do not see any other solutions, and I can assure you that there is no other solution. The primary solution, I will talk about primary and secondary solution. The primary solution is the people we have chosen here as our representatives. Everything what we have done, everything has fallen to the deaf ears. The reason behind, I would tell you, sir, why we have been falling so behind as compared to other societies out there in this area, because I will not talk about any political party, but there is a political party which has always been taking the, I would say, bigger part of the cake always, because that party is considered to be the, party of Hindus, I would say, or the biggest party. It is one of the biggest party in the world, having maybe 22 crores of memberships. That party is also ruling here, because 95% people are Hindus here, so they absolutely get the vote even after they don't even do anything. That is one of the reasons, because when you do not have opponents, when you don't have competition, I would say you stop worrying about competition, and you don't work hard much, because you don't care about next elections. You will certainly win, you'll come with flying colors, because you know that society is there who will never vote for the other party, because they have got different ideology, they have got different agenda set, they make propaganda, this and that. So that is why, because we don't have any competition for a political party, that is why the bureaucracy doesn't work properly, because people get their things done in their own way, and the normal people, common people, we do not get our things done in a right manner, which is one of the reasons that because of this political system, we are falling behind. Back to the question, that why are we falling behind and what is the solution? The solution is if we choose very good people, educated people, because education is not being considered one of the top priorities, or I would say the paramount qualities for politics, especially in India. Here we have witnessed that uneducated people who can hardly speak, they are being elected as CMs. I will talk about Bihar's CM, Lalu Prasad Yadav's wife. When he stepped down out of that CM's post, Chief Minister's post, he made his wife Chief Minister, who can't even read and write. That is the problem. So we need to go ahead. We need to choose the representatives who are always willing to hear us, and most importantly, educated people. So I think this is the era where young people should come ahead. That is the only solution I see here, because old people have got old type of thinking, and there is this generation gap, which is not enough for us in order to compete and to bring what belongs to us.
So then you were talking, Pause kurz oder geht's noch? Genau. So you were talking about the administration, but let's talk about us. What can we do? I mean, you and me. First you and then us. How we can help you.
Yeah, you are already helping us out by taking the time out of your hectic schedule and coming all the way from Austria, maybe and some other country, I forgot actually. Right now interacting with us, and I am happy at this moment, but at the same time I'm disappointed as well, because people all the way from the world's corners are coming here because they have heard about this place. They have heard about the negligence that is being given to these people. But people who are living in the center or in the heart of this city or this place, this beautiful place, they have not been so ever, awoke and never so concerned about our requirements or our needs of our people. And what you can do for us is, what I know, I don't know it would be appropriate for me to say or not, but I would say that if you can promote the tourism for us, because we have got massive potential for tourism, sir. We have got river rafting potential here, we have got paragliding here, we have got all 4 seasons since we can do skiing here as well, so we have got everything. If you can promote tourism for us, I would love that, but I am really not sure what hold you have over the administration, but there are very disappointment facts, or I would say happenings with us. I'll give you a document, sir. I would love you to please, and would request you to please display that during your interview. There is a document that I had made. It's a plea from the people of Pada. We have the highest bureaucrat here called SDM, sub-district magistrate. Then we have a Tehsildar. Then since Modi ji, our Prime Minister, started the 3-tier Panchayati Raj system, which is the best proof system of I would say development proof system that we are right now living in on. But there is a problem that if you go down there, this is called the financial hub of this whole area called Gulabgarh, where we are sitting right now. In that market, if you walk out all the way from top, from the Chinar to the downside of the market, you take a look at the drainage system. You will see it is dumped with polythene, with garbage, and with everything. And after a few months, if it is not treated, it will be a reason for the lot of, I would say, diseases. And I put this up issue in the district administration. We have a chairman who heads all the bureaucrats, or who heads this whole district. I went there. I presented my plea there. Then the divisional commissioner of Jammu and Kashmir, that himself visited here. I brought up this issue in front of them. He advised and ordered and directed all the officials out here, and the leaders who have been given funds for this particular thing to make cleanliness. After all his directions, still nothing has happened on the ground. I have that document with me, which has been attested and approved by all these officials, but still nothing has been done on the ground. Who would we go to? If we raise our voice, we are not being heard of, and there are not really much people who want to talk about. But that is something for me that I will do my part. I'm trying to help out my people and to make them realize what they can do in order to make this an ideal and the real paradise, which it is actually.
So what about the awareness about these environmental issues? Is there an awareness of these issues here?
Yeah, of course. We are a group of people out here, especially young people, called PACER. we have founded this particular thing. It is not registered yet, I would say, unofficial. A lot of young people have, are helping us out in order to make some change. We help the people during this COVID-19, especially when simple things have fallen down, upside down. We had been educating our kids because schools were off, and we had organized, this team, Pacer had organized tuition camps. We used to educate over 200 people, students pretty much every year in the winter, especially because it's a snowbound area, a lot of snow out here. Students can't go to school, so we have been helping them out. We have initiated many drives to plant more and more trees in our regions. We have been raising our voices, taking our voices to the administration, because if you see within 1 kilometer radius, you will see there is a crusher, which is being a reason for a lot of smoke and pollution that is going on there. I am sure if we get into this, if we dive deep into this, into the technicality, we can hold them responsible. A lot of smoke is being generated in the center of the place where a lot of people live. I don't know how they got their consent, but if you can see, even right now, you can see the smoke up there. So these are the things we take up to the administration, but since we do not have proper channels from where we can raise our voices, there are not educated people who are ready to hear us and who are ready to take our voices out there. Till then, we will have to suffer, and we are struggling. The youth are struggling. The SpaceX thing is struggling, and we will come out of this until till the time the people like.
You're saying that there's no system in place to collect the garbage.
No, unfortunately.
But how is the garbage ending up there?
It's piling up every day, and there's no system, of course, because you'd be surprised to know that we have banks here, sir. Let's talk about the ground level thing. We have banks here. We have got Block Development Council, or I would say the office here. We have got veterinary hospital here. We have got schools here. We have got the biggest market here. Why I'm saying? Because a lot of people from the surroundings will come here every day. A lot of people come here, and for the ladies, we do not have even proper washroom where they can go. They go into the open places. That is the system we have.
So one last question, maybe a weird one, but the mountains itself.
Yeah.
What do they represent for you?
These mountains represent for me everything that can make us #1 in our state, because they have got everything. They have already given us everything. You have read in the books. We have known it in reality. I have been to that sapphire mine, though it's illegal to go there. But I went there some time ago, and I just went there to visit. I took a view of that place, and that's so mesmerizing and so beautiful. We have got everything, sir. These mountains are a source of money. These mountains are a source of strength for us. These mountains are a source of, I would say, they're covering us with everything. They give us a lot of water. They give us everything which is required in order to be #1 in the world, everywhere in any part of this planet called Earth. We have got everything. So these are symbols of God for us as well, basically, because there are a lot of mountains where you can see Shiva, there. And right next, I must, bring this into the topic that opposite to Chandi Mata Temple, Machail, that we were talking about earlier, just opposite to that, we see a mountain called Shiv Shankara mountain. There you can see Shivji there. There are videos on the YouTube, you can search it out. You'd be amazed to see how lively that can be seen out there, dancing like this. There are clouds, it is covered with clouds. You can't see nothing, but you can see Lord Shiva out there. Long one, a kind of stone which moves around. So that is a kind of, yes, magic, you can say there, you can witness there. These mountains are source of everything, and these mountains are source of energy, strength, and they are source of our belief. That's what these mountains are for us.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Thank you very much.